Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I hope you will find something that you can use in your gardening and that you will subscribe, like the video, and also share it on your social media platforms. That way, the 70-year-old gardener can reach more people. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I've been up to all through Christmas, starting with Christmas Eve, all the way to today, which is New Year's Day. The first thing I'm going to show you how my garden is doing outside. You know, guys know I have an organic garden outside. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to share with you my houseplant jungle in my bedroom. And then I'm going to share with you easy method of growing food hydroponically inside. And then I'm going to share with you some seeds that I collected. And I'll tell you why I saved the seeds. And I think that's it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, guys, it is Christmas Eve. And it's going to give you a quick overview of the garden. Everything is looking so good. We have wonderful weather. It is currently 62 degrees. We're supposed to get some rain in a couple hours. I'm just going by kind of quickly and then I'll zoom in on everything. Okay, let's start over here. This was the winter spinach that I planted the seeds a few days ago. You can see I put the spinach seeds right in here and all around there. The dianthus that I got for $1 are doing well. Rainbow Swiss chard, dwarf Siberian kale is doing well. We got good weather, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Begonias over there neatly tucked in. We've got some turnips growing right here. This is the first time ever for me to grow tomatoes outside in the winter time. We've been getting a lot of rain, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest what I can and let them keep growing since we're not gonna get a freezing temperature. They're just doing well. I didn't think that these little flowers would turn into tomatoes, but they did. Look how big those are getting down there. Anything that is blushing or turning red, I'm gonna go ahead on and harvest them and let them stay in the house. We have some more Bloomsdale spinach right over here doing good. The dianthus over there is enjoying the cooler weather. That's society garlic right there, and tulips. The mums are doing good right here. Peppermint, tulips with a little society garlic in these 3 rows. And guys, I didn't cover up anything except, let me back up. I did cover the celery because we had one temperature of 35, but you can see it's doing real good. 3 nice stalks, they're growing. And I didn't want them to, because they're so tender, I didn't want the celery to freeze. Okay, my collards are growing back really well. Look at there. Well, I told you I hacked them off. Let's go in a little closer so you can see it. Yeah, doing real well. Everything in the real large garden beds are doing exceptionally well. Got a lot of onions in here and garlic. I had cut all of that Swiss chard back and it's growing real well. Dianthus and mums. Got peas, sugar daddy peas growing good. Cabbage over there. Everything looking good, all my brassicas. And we have lettuce and mustard spinach. Onions and garlic. And I'm overdue for harvesting the radish. Look at there. It's supposed to be a cherry radish. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be more like that. But I'll get all this tomorrow. I mean, the day after tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And I got carrots and beets in here. Oh, look at there. I think I'll pull one up. It's a nice beach. Cool. I'll just leave it there until the day after Christmas. And we have a lot of carrots and beets over here. And 7 top turnips and purple globe turnips. The green stalks are doing well. You see the colors are really coming out. And red mustards. Same thing on this side. We've got spinach and society garlic and onions. And I could actually take off this insect netting because there aren't too many insects out now, and let the plants get taller because this is being bent back by the netting. But you remember I had that rodent problem that I don't have anymore. I haven't seen any evidence of any rodents coming into the garden. Right here we have more spinach. A few new seeds popping up. Looking good. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what I planted over here. I'll pop it in, but you can see very good germination rate. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Looking good. Strawberries looking good. Even trying to make strawberries. And yeah, that's about it. All across that ledge, we have all those tulips. And don't forget, I hope I didn't go too fast, tulips and daffodils up under these brassicas and winter crops. I decided to come out and get some of these seeds from the spent flowers because these marigolds have withstood temperatures as low as 31 degrees. So I want to make sure that I gather some of these seeds. And my experience has taught me that I don't have to let them dry out. So I will start some more of these seeds for my spring garden. It is very easy to save seeds. All you have to do is just pull the seeds from it. See all those? And all you do is just separate them from the little stem. And that's it. Marigolds will germinate very fast. Looks like the lettuce is growing pretty good. I'm gonna pop in what type of lettuce it is. Let's go in closer. We've had a lot of rain, so I just wanted to come out and just, you know, make sure everything is looking pretty good. And I do see growth, especially in the green stalks and the turnips over here. The beets and the carrots are doing really well, and I've seen growth. Only reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because of the shorter days and cooler temperatures. It grows a little bit slower in the winter. One good thing about my harvest basket is this little compartment here doesn't have any holes in it, and these 2 compartments do. And you can see I harvested some more tomatoes. And guys, this is the first time, I said it in my last video, I'm going to say it again, this is the first time me ever harvesting tomatoes, and they're cherry tomatoes, in the month of December, outside, without a greenhouse. So I harvested a few radishes. These were little small radishes, but we can get some of that dirt off before we actually bring them in the house. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them in some vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and I'll put them in a little jar, and then I'll add them to my salads or my dressings as I need them. Nothing goes to waste. I think that's my little sweetie pie bringing me some tea. She is so sweet, guys. Bria, my garden helper, wants to say hello. Whenever I come outside, she always brings me some tea, and it's sugar-free. Here's my monstera plant that I rooted in water, and it just grew so well that I decided I'm just gonna keep it in water. And I just want you to see how wonderful it's doing. And this is a Raven ZZ plant, but I want to show you this new leaf. Look how beautiful that is. that just came up last week. And it hasn't even unseparated all the way. And you could tell this is a new leaf. I'm gonna step back and show you how light it is in comparison to a mature leaf. Coming from that same plant, the leaves are much darker. Yeah, so don't be afraid to experiment and try different things. This is one of the plants that you can grow in water and a few drops of hydroponic solution every month. One more thing about this monstera plant, anywhere where you see aerial roots, and these are roots that grow above the soil surface or water surface, you can cut off right along here from the plant, detach it, and root it in water and multiply your plants. If I wanted to reproduce more of this plant, I would cut it right here. Would just saw it off, and I would put this all in water. And right next to it is my bird of paradise, and then I have a pothos up there at the top. And just while I'm doing this part, let me share with you why I never have to decorate for Christmas. Because as you can see, I've got fairy lights all around my room. Okay guys, here's some of my plants here. Most of these are pothos and philodendrons, as you can see here. And I use the mirrors here to reflect the light, so they get plenty of light, but not a whole lot. And when it's a lot of light coming in from that window, you can turn, Brian, because it's late in the afternoon, the sun's getting ready to go down, then I don't have the pole lights on. As you can see right over here, we have a lot of plants over here. Most of the plants, guys, I buy them as small baby plants, and then I root them like this one here in water, and then I plant some of them in soil, and then like over here. Can you see all of these up here, Brian? You can walk around here, Brian. And I have some more plants over there. You can just go over there, Brian. Let me in first. They were purchased in 4-inch pots, or they are clippings from other plants. And you can see my lucky bamboo. I'm rooting it in water. It only had a few leaves on it, and they have really grown a lot. Did you get these plants over here, Brian? Mm-hmm. And all across here, I don't need any lights. Come here, sweetie. I don't need any lights in these plants all the way to the window because they get plenty of sun. And come over around here, Brian. And you all can tell I absolutely love plants. I get excited when I see new growth. For example, that right there on the ZZ plant. Yeah. I have some in the window. You want to go close up? I brought them outside. The purple plant is the shamrock. And then I have saffron growing in the brown container next to it. Thanks, Brian. Now, let's talk about my hydroponic systems where I'm growing food inside. I have 10 systems currently operating. I have 17 in total, and what I'm going to say may sound strange to you, but it's the truth. I grow more food hydroponically in the summertime than I do during the winter because it is extremely hot here in North Texas in the summer, with temperatures as high as 107, 108, with a heat index as high as 121 degrees. So in these systems, you see that I'm just only growing one tomato plant, and I want to share this with you. You see this plant? This is a Tom Thumb cherry tomato, and this is supposed to be a Tom Thumb cherry tomato. I bought the seeds from different merchants, and you can see how this is putting on flowers, meaning it's going to have tomatoes in a few days. And this one has been producing very well. And what I do is to, even though I have an oscillating fan around the room, when they start to blush, I take them off. They taste just as sweet, and I just put them under the light. You can see here 4 little cherry tomatoes that I took off of this plant the other day, and within 2 days it went from this color to this color. And if you're wondering why are you removing them, it's because I need to get air in here. Okay, I need to get that air, and when they're all clustered close together, they don't get that air like it should. As I was telling you guys earlier, I'm only operating 10 systems right now because I grow more food outside in the winter than I can during the summer. So I've got tomatoes and lettuce growing over here in these 2 systems. In these 4 systems, I am germinating Tiny Tim tomatoes, as well as a lot of different lettuces, red cell lettuce, red leaf lettuce, Tom Thumb, and Butter Crunch. Now, you see right here, Brian, get close on there. Those tomatoes I got from outside earlier today. So what I'm going to do with these tomatoes is I'm going to save the seeds. When you find a good variety that can handle your extreme temperatures, for example, they grew during the summer, they had to be protected with shade cloths and frost cloths when it was a little cooler. So this is a good variety, and I'm going to make sure I plant some next year. You can see, if you go in close right here, that these 2 systems, I just started these lettuce seeds a few days ago. And I'm going to put some more baskets in here. So that's it for my hydroponic systems. This is my Kratky method. If you want to learn how to grow hydroponically without a pump or without a system like this here, you can use a simple mason jar. Now, I showed you guys how to do this last year, but I want to show it again for my new subscribers. I put a sock on a half-gallon mason jar, and I use the same hydroponic system, and I rooted the seeds. I should say I germinated the seeds in rock wool, and I'll show you in a minute, inside of this 3-inch net cup. And then as the seeds germinated, I put this black collar, and make sure that you don't go too high with your nutrients in your water, high above the net cup, because it would absorb, because you're going to grow feeder roots and then air roots. And if you have the water, for example, too far up here, then your plant will die. And I put the sock on here to keep out the light that's overhead. Can you get up under here, Brian, and show the different type of lights I have? The infrared lights, full spectrum lights, and they're shining down on here real nice. And the algae will grow from that light. Algae is in the air everywhere. And once it gets in contact with the water, it'll just keep multiplying, and the algae will eat up the nutrients from the hydroponic solution, I should say. Okay, but whenever you get ready to fill your mason jars up, I'm just going to show you real quickly. You can just lift the net cup up. You're enclosed here. Lift the net cup up, add a little water. Don't go too far up. You see where I have it? And you don't see any algae growing. Okay, so I'm growing 2 types of Tiny Tim tomatoes. I got sent the wrong seeds one time, and I said, no, let me just go ahead and use them. For example, this one is a dwarf plant. You see, come closer. You see it's putting on flowers. Okay, and then you can see this one is growing a normal size. Both of them are supposed to be dwarf Tiny Tim plants, but I suspect I was sent the super dwarf or mini dwarf. I don't know. I'm just going to say super dwarf, and then these are the regular dwarfs. So I will save these seeds because they are heirloom. So going forward, I'm only going to save the seeds of the plants that produce the fruit or vegetables that I want to grow again. And I just got real busy with my outside garden, the houseplant jungle, and with my hydroponics. I'll just buy some more seeds, and I won't do that again. Never get too busy when you get a good seed that you really want to grow and produce again. I'm also growing basil in the mason jar without a filter or hydroponic pump. I learned last year that basil grows very well in a mason jar as long as you give it nutrients and some light. I was reading my journal from a few years ago, and I forgot something very important. I have sent seeds to hundreds of my subscribers for the Texas red hibiscus plant that I make tea out of. And when I ran out, I realized that I wasn't growing them anymore over here when I moved 2 years ago. And so I dug up some seeds and I found them. And right here you can see I've got 3 here to germinate. Look like one is coming up right here too. And then I have 2 over here. Can you go up real close, Brian? This one germinated first, this big tall one. And then this one, you can see that I put them in cups. And then I will be putting them into larger containers. I guess I should say I will pop them when needed, but I'm not going to put them outside until there is no danger of any frost. However, in my garden zone 8A, Mesquite, Texas, the Texas star hibiscus came back even when we had the Arctic freeze with a temperature of 3 degrees for several days in 2021. So they are perennials. Now over here, here's another plant that I realized in my journal that I wasn't growing, and I had the seeds. And this is Mexican petunias. And you see they're popping up, and some of them have their second set of leaves, and that's when I transplant them. I should have said that earlier. I transplant them when they're strong enough, because the seeds have everything that they need in it as far as nutrition is concerned inside of the seed itself. After you get 2 leaves or second set or third set of true leaves, then it's time to give them more nutrition. So I'm going to be potting up the Mexican petunias, and they make a pretty purple flower that attract a lot of butterflies in your yard. So if you don't have a lot of pollinators to come and cross-pollinate your, let's say squash or cucumbers, plant you some flowers. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Over here, I'm growing just one pepper seed came up. I'm going to keep on and wait patiently. And here is the white Texas star hibiscus. I started them the same time I started these plants, but they haven't germinated. The seeds may be too old. I may need to go out into my garden bench and get a heating pad to, to help them get started. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it on your social media platforms and subscribe if you're new. I hope that I encouraged you or motivated you in some way to grow food all year long. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know that I love you, and God loves you too.